Good morning. Turn the light on so you can see me. Hope everybody's good. I'm hoping there's no cow catastrophe today. I'm hoping there's no cow Whoops. Catastrophe today. I'm hoping there's no. And you turn that down. Um. So, how is everybody's Wednesday? I have already been chasing the cows this morning, so hopefully they'll hold off. I am a few minutes early because I have a dentist appointment and I did not want to be late. I have to allow for 45 minutes to an hour travel time to get there. So that's why I'm a few minutes early. So if you make it, that's great. If not, then hopefully you can catch the replay. I see Gummy is already in here. Today is 63 degrees, partly sunny. Well, it's really, it's sunny. It's very nice outside. So today we're back into the spring clothes. A couple of days ago, we were back into the winter clothes. So we don't expect any rain today, but I believe we're going to expect some later this afternoon or this evening. So I'm trying to keep the glare from my glasses off the screen. So if it looks like I'm tipping my head down, that's why. So how's the weather your way? And what have you been doing? We're still trying to dry out. We've had probably 5.5 inches of rain in the last 10 days. And it's still so muddy, you sink up to your ankles in the mud. So it's pretty nasty. So for those who are on their lunch break, I appreciate you coming in. For anyone new, I appreciate you coming in also, and hope you find the conversation, a little interesting and you'll want to come back. You're always welcome. So, what I have today is just open chat. We're just going to chat about whatever y'all want to chat about. I did do a couple of videos this week. We weighed the puppies. They got their pedicure. So if you haven't seen that video, I have put that one up already. Good morning. So I hope you got some rest, Gummy. I was up all night long, off and on, the dogs barking. Something, I'm sure it was deer because I had a Chamber of Commerce meeting last night, and on the way home I saw 6 deer. And so I'm traveling very slowly. Oh yeah, they just run across the road. So if I would have been going fast, I may have injured one of them or myself. But I always know in this particular little road that to go very slow. And so there was 4 does and 2 smaller ones. Oh, they're beautiful. And the first 2 I saw didn't come across the road. They were just in an open field. and they're always there. The owner keeps the field cut down so that they can come in and, graze the way they want to, but and they can hide a little bit because it's right along the trees. But I've seen as many as a dozen on that road, but it was dark when I came back, and, you know, you can't help it. The days are short. So are you ready to start your diamond painting? I think I'm going to start this one first. I did my I did my videos, but they have not loaded. For anybody who has not seen a diamond painting, this is my dragonfly, and this was a gift from Gummy because she thought maybe it would look good in my new bathroom, which I am sure it will. Yes, you need to get yours set up. Um, I've got everything I need to do mine. I just wanted to make sure I did my videos before. It is really a pretty um, full drill painting. And I have seen some, and I love the little, I thought those were Shasta daisies, but you know what? I think those are like daffodils now that I look at them, because they have a long stem on them. But they're really pretty. So I can't wait. And it's going to be hard because the first thing you want to do is do some color, make it, let's do some color. But the first thing I need to do is white. So I guess I'll practice with white, and I'll just do a little at a time, and I'll get used to it. But yes, that's going to look really good in my vintage bathroom. Very good. Gummy says, clean my table and excited to see your finished dragonfly. Yeah. Show the bottom part again. Okay. The bottom part is the flowers. Did I hold it up long enough? But I love those flowers. See, they have very thick, long spiny leaves almost. So I'm thinking that when I hold them back, they look like it's a dragonfly with, yeah, maybe daffodils, because that's the first ones you see come up is the daffodils, the the little bulbs. That's the first ones you see coming up out of the ground when winter is almost over. Which, oh my goodness, It's been a long winter. So yeah. Um. Other than that, what time is it? 11:51. See, most people aren't used to me coming on this early, but see, Steve wants to see it when it's finished. Yeah, I will. Hey, Joey. Good morning. Oh, thank you. The puppies are awesome. I'm gonna miss them. Thank you so much. My little ones, oh my gosh, the two littlest grandchildren, I can't weigh them. They'll come up a couple of times a week to play with them. Hey, Clubhouse Corner, Corner Clubhouse Cobalt. I have to say it right. Yeah, so the puppies are just, I mean, they're growing so fast. Um, and you want to just pick them up and snuggle them all the time, but they're really into rolling around. And um, I opened up the center portion of our chicken pen. We built it for rabbits, and we built it to put turkeys originally in there, and we put net over it to keep the hawks from getting the baby turkeys, which we did lose a couple. That's when we figured out we needed to do that. We put baby chicks in there, and so we have it set up to where they can't get out, or the cats hopefully can't get in. Ginger can't wait to snuggle with fluff balls. Oh my gosh. And I mean, it's tough. It's tough because they're so adorable and they love snuggling. I'm telling you, all of them do. And I noticed last night, uh, we weren't expecting any rain last night, so I didn't lock them up in their portion of the pen until it got pretty late. But they were all just laying out, all 7 of them were just laying out, like they were exhausted from running around because they got a lot more exercise now. They will go to the vet next week, so, we'll get that over with, and they can go home anytime after Valentine's Day. They're eating very well. She's, just nursing them a little bit, so she's weaning them now. It's amazing, but I'll throw their little, I'm using the Victor, um, chow, and it's for puppies. It's for, any age. They don't I couldn't find one strictly for puppies, and I've been feeding it to her also because it makes her milk richer. But, oh my gosh, they're just piling in there, and I feed them 3 times a day, just a little bit. They're only supposed to get a quarter of half a cup. So I mean, they're eating it though. They act like I don't feed them. But did you look at the description on the one that I put up about the pedicure? See how much they grew? I mean, I thought doubling last week was a lot, but from 4 to 4.5 pounds was most of them. I only have one that's 8 or 9, and the rest of them are 10 and 11 pounds. Oh my gosh. And they didn't mind the pedicures, so you won't have a trouble with that. They did not mind at all. They took it like little champs, but their collars, y'all be sure and bring you a collar because they're going to be outgrowing these. I only have another inch and a half on most of the collars to to expand them because they grew so fast last week. So once we put them on food, hard food, oh my gosh, it's anybody's game. But I do have to I have a place that so mama can get up high. They can't jump yet. Their little fat bodies can't do that. If she's laying out there, they attack her. I mean, poor thing. I mean, they're just wearing her out. Um, Joy says our beagle acts like she's never eaten every time we feed her. I know. It's like, what is the idea? Hey, AR Guns 1776. How are you? Good to see you. I mean, I'm just, it's like, I don't know what we'd have done if we'd have had 15 puppies because this breed of dogs can have, um, they can have a lot of puppies. Um, the least I've heard anyone around here in our county, someone had 5 puppies. So, but I've heard as many as 14, 15 puppies. So it's like poor mama. But they already have those instincts. I already see these puppies when I let them out of their, it's kind of like a big dog house. But it gives the mama chance. She can jump in if she needs to feed them. She can jump out, but they can't get out unless I move the gate. And um, I can't imagine her having to deal with 15 puppies. But I see them already, and they go along the fence line, and they're sniffing already. They're sniffing around, and they'll go up the up one side and down the other. So I mean, it's instinct with them, but I can't believe even at this age how much instinct they have about smells. They're very sensitive to smells. So I know they're going to be great little additions to your family, and it'll be hard not to just hold on to them. I'm telling you. But so yeah, I'll have to garner some help on the day that I take them to the vet. The vet's only like 4 or 5 miles away, so it's not that far. It's just the idea of taking 7 little critters with me. So and our vet is, he's kind of different than city vets because he'll come right out to your truck and he'll do the exam out there. He'll do everything he needs to do out there. He brings his techs with him. They bring the things they have a little kit that they bring to the cars, and they'll do the exam right there in the parking lot. So I really don't have to take all 7 inside, other than to weigh them. They have a scales, and I'll have to take them inside one at a time or 2 at a time to get them weighed. But they'll just come right out to the car, and I probably could do it by myself, but it's a lot more fun when you have somebody with you. It is. So yeah, they'll get their first shots and they're deworming, and I've already trimmed their nails, so they may do that again too. But um poor little Hayden, when he was trimming, it wasn't one of yours, Joey. It was the one we call Polar Bear, I think. He's going to a local family about an hour from here. Um, she's been down here for chickens and goats and stuff, so I know her and I know they're a good family. And he was trying to clip little polar bear's paw, and every time he would clip one, polar bear would put his other paw on top of the other one, like he was trying to cover it up, you know. But they did really well, and he did good with them. He's 8, 9 years old. I forget now. So he's done really well. And his sister, she tried a little bit, but she would rather play and snuggle with them and hug them and stuff. So that's more her job. And honestly, I got the biggest Tupperware bowl I can to weigh them. I guess I'm going to have to go to the fish scales next, because when they grow out of that Tupperware bowl, then I'm going to need something else to weigh them. So, um, because I would like to know how much they weigh before they leave. As they're leaving, I would like to know. Um, Says, I'm sorry, didn't mean to interrupt your show and talk about the puppies. Oh no, I just haven't commented on the pedicure. Oh, you haven't. Oh yeah, that's okay. No, that's what open chat is. We're going to talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. I don't have any set topics. Occasionally, I will have a couple of things I want to mention, but most of the time, I'll just go with what y'all want to talk about. Um, because we all do different things in different parts of the country. I'm sure. Well, you're pretty close to our weather, Joey. We're 63 today, partly sunny. I think late in the afternoon, we're expecting some rain. Um, we had rain. We had a little shower, just drizzles last night. So, but 63, it's hard to believe that a few weeks ago we were minus 11. So, y'all might be getting some more cold weather, but I don't think we're going to get that much. Um, we're too far in the deep south, I think. But other than that, I mean, you can't complain. Y'all hear my roosters? Do you hear them? I really apologize for cutting my live stream short last week. The cows have been awful, and until my menfolk have days off, and to repair the fence, they've just about tore up my fence. And they keep wanting to get over into my daughter's yard. She has the same weeds. She's got the same weeds. And there may be a little bit more clover, maybe a little bit more oak leaves, maybe. But other than that, but I mean, it's like until they can get over there and fix those portions, then I'm in. I mean, every day I've already chased them back over this morning and had to give them extra hay. No, the grass is greener over there. Yeah, it's got to be. You see, Joey said we're in the 40s and we have had rain every day and more coming. Um, yeah, and I mean, yesterday we didn't have any all day long, but then we had the little misty rain last night. Um, but Sunday, it rained all day Sunday. I mean, you couldn't get out. Yeah, Gummy, they're silly cows, that's for sure. And there's one over there. He's going to the sale barn. Um, he tried to gore my husband on Saturday, and and then 2 days later, he come in, he says, "Man, he almost got me again." And then he chased him when we delivered the big round bales of hay. He chased him around the truck and wouldn't let him get back in the truck. And so he's going to the sale barn. He's the black and white Holstein bull, and but the steers, they don't care. Hey Duncan, how are you doing, Brenda? Hope you got some good weather up there. I know y'all have had a lot of rain too. My brother, I have a brother and a sister that live in Texas, one in Wichita Falls and one in a little town called Wills Point. They're going to get ice. That deep freeze is going to really drop down. So it's like, well, stay in the house. They don't get that much ice where they're at, kind of in the panhandle. Um, what Gummy say? Oh, that's not a good bull, and happy traveling for him to the sale barn. Yeah, we have to be really careful of him. I carry a cane, one of my long walking canes out there, because if he comes near me, I may have to scare him a little with it. But I don't get close enough with him. I don't have one of those prods or anything. But he really scared me this morning because he started running my direction. And so I had to make a lot of noise, and then I did scare him enough. He went on. I just opened up the gate. They go over there and then they go to the gate and they wait for me to open the gate so I can let them back in. It's like they don't remember how they jumped over there and tore up my fence. They want me to open the gate. Are they not spoiled? Yeah, they're spoiled. No freezing for Duncan this week. Um, no ice, no, but just freezing temps. So we had 2 days last week that we were 28 and 29, I think. Thank goodness we didn't have any pipes busted because we just got them all replaced. All the drinking water, I don't know how many he replaced from the really deep freeze that we had in December. So it took us a while. And the water company said, "Oh, you need to check for leaks because your meter is spinning." So yeah, we found that one. So the cows had knocked off a faucet and just busted it. It's crazy. Um, you think they'd appreciate good water. But so yeah, I don't know what my water bill is going to be because I'm not sure how long it was spinning before the water company come out here and said, "Hey, you need to check your meter. You need to check for leaks." But mind you, most of our 6 acres has a water faucet or water tank somewhere. I mean, in two or three in every pasture, and most of them have a faucet attached to them or a water hose attached to them. So, oh, listen, I might get baby lambs. Yesterday, I was watching my ewe, and I noticed she has full milk. So we might, and she is big. I'm telling you, she's big. So we might have some baby lambs before the end of the week. Um, but I mean, she's real furry and a lot of fiber on her. So for me to be able to see her milk, she's big. And I have another nanny that looks like she's carrying quads again. She's had quads once and she's had triplets 3 times. So, and she's so large that she's not moving at all. So yeah, yes, they are coming in when they're full milk, Brenda. I always know, and I've been watching them for a couple of weeks, and yesterday was the first day that I've actually seen her full milk, and I'm thinking, and the nanny goat already has full milk, but she always gets it a little bit early. I have some nannies that their milk doesn't come in until they have the babies, but this particular one, she's real known for quads, and they're always so cute. But they usually only weigh like a pound. So yeah. Brenda says we've been in the teens and single digits, but we are up to 30 degrees today. Wow, you guys are in a heat wave. Yeah. Uh, yeah. So Texas is going to definitely, if you live in the north, you know how to drive in weather like that. If you live in the south, you don't, unless you've ever been in it. Um, when it freezes here, I stay off the road because I've lived in the South too long that I'm not comfortable driving in um, I'm not even comfortable driving in the heavy rain because of my cataract. So it's like there's too much glare. I can't see. Uh, Duncan says, baby lambs and baby goats. Oh, they are so cute. It's just more footage, right? That is something that most people, even if they don't have um, other pets other than dogs or cats or lizards or turtles or whatever, fish, those are the kind of things that you have in the city. But if you've never lived in the country, oh, we used to have little mini horses. Oh my gosh, those little baby horses were so adorable. So we don't have those anymore, but anything baby is just nobody can resist them, even if they've never been to a farm. They just can't resist these little babies. And right now we have 8 fainting ones down at my son's place. We have 2 that are a couple of months old. We have twins that are a couple of months old. Um, and then we're expecting these others. So we're gonna have a good spring. We won't have as many as we had last year. We had 27 babies, and 3 sets of triplets were born in one day. Like, oh my goodness. That was a lot. We barely got one situated, and then the other one was having them. I mean, they had them within 2 hours of each other, all 9 of them. So yeah, it was pretty rough. Yeah. Hey, the little lambs will be really good for those photographers that like to take pictures with lambs and baby goats, and we'll have baby chicks too. But there are photographers who come to my farm to do that because, usually the people that have never been around animals, that's what they like those Easter pictures with those types of babies. So the last time she was very young. We didn't intend on her having a baby that early, but animals, they have other they have other choices and ideas. Um, Her baby was born a little premature, and it was below 30, and we didn't catch it, and so we ended up losing him. But he was coal black. He was just beautiful. So they're known to have twins and triplets. You know, are more triplets and quads are more prominent in my goats, but sheep can have multiples. So, but twins are more common in the lambs around here. So we'll see. But she's huge. I mean, she's wide. So and hoping she has them while it's warm, so we don't have to worry about them, getting too cold before she gets them cleaned off. But we'll see. We'll take it the way we can. You can't put them all in a protective pen away from the others because they really miss the others when they're separated. So they do better is separate them just before they deliver or right after they deliver, so that they can bond with their babies. Yeah, they're cute, cute, cute. So yeah, so we're hoping today. I got the cows chased already and checked on all the animals, and my appointment is, like I said, if depending on the traffic, it's at least 45 minutes away. Um, and I don't like to be late. So, and if you didn't come in the very beginning, hey Ginger, you snuck in. If you Last night, I'm on the board of directors with the Chamber of Commerce. Our county's pretty small, so I'm doing my civic duty. And on the way home last night, it was after dark, and I saw 6 does in different areas, and some of them were crossing the road, so I always just creeped through this one particular road. It's only about 2 miles long, but they were all in that area, every one of them, and they just hop across the road like it's nobody's business. So, they know they're safe now. Nobody's hunting for them, but, so, I mean, it's kinda neat. I've actually been in this one area, and there's been as many as a dozen, and most of them are does and the fawns, but, occasionally you'll see a buck. My son has seen a couple of bucks on his trail cam out in the woods, at the back of we have another 9 acres that's all wooded. So, he's got a trail cam back there so we can see. We have seen fox, we've seen plenty of coyote, raccoons, possums. I think maybe even a bobcat at one time. So, and that's, a mile away from the house, but still that's not that far for them. They'll travel. Brenda says I always kept my billy goats separate from my does other than during breeding season. You know, I have a couple of wethers that we keep with the does, uh, with the nannies. They do very well. Um, but I've always had them together. Roadkill, pot of stew. Oh yeah. I don't know. I heard someone, I think it was Kathy one time said that she should stop and if that animal had just been hit that she'd stop and get it. I don't know if she's teasing or not, but if it's fresh, I don't know. I don't think I could eat possum anyway. Um or raccoon. I mean, there's a lot of people that still eat it, but knowingly, I don't think I could eat it. So no, Brenda, we don't separate um our billies. Um if we put them in the same pen, they do pretty good. But if you separate them, we had them separated at one time where we had the Mytonics in one pen with their billy, and we had the Nigerians in the next pen. Well, they were side by side. Well, they tore the dang fence up. But if you put the billies in the same pen, they'll fight, and do their little ram thing, and their little He-Man stuff. They'll do that in the pen, and they don't involve the fence. So we do better by keeping them all in the same fence, and then they can just, and I've not had any that would ram the nannies, and so, you know. Oh, Brenda says we have stopped and got the deer that was just hit. Well, if they're still warm, that's different. But if you look at it and you think, I wonder when that one was hit. I'm sure there was people have done it, but I'll tell you a little story that my mother told me when we were working on genealogy. And she said that when, um, I don't even know if she had any children, maybe the oldest two boys she had, but she said they had a car that had a trundle seat. So I don't know exactly what kind of car that was, but it had a trundle seat, and it was in Oklahoma, and they were starving, and, it was during the time, we're talking in the early 50s, and they were having a hard time, and so my dad, he got a doe. He put that doe under the trundle seat, and she was sitting on the seat, and they got stopped by a game warden, and she said that she sat back there on that seat, and he told her not to say anything, not to say anything. So she's sitting on the trundle seat with that deer under the seat because they needed the meat. And the game warden stopped them and asked them where they were going. And I don't know what they said. But she said the whole time she was so nervous that she was just sweating. She was so nervous. Hey, Mark from Little Ridge. But she they actually, broke the law, but they had starving, they were starving, they were hungry, and, it just happened to be the game warden stopped them. And she said that she believed that he knew that she was sitting under it because she was sitting up so high, but he could see that, they weren't poachers. It was a family that needed something to eat. And but she said she was so nervous, she was afraid that he was gonna ask her to get out and that trundle seat was gonna pop up and that deer would be under that trundle seat. But that was one of the little stories that she told me while we were on our trip back to Arkansas and Oklahoma and Texas, the year the well, this summer actually before she passed. And so she got to visit all of her cousins and everything. Duncan says my mother passed away while cooking barbecue raccoon. Really? Barbecue raccoon. Is raccoon greasy? I know they say possum is, but I've never heard if raccoon is. I've always heard they had a lot of fat on them, but and sweet potatoes and oh no, that's possum, isn't it? Sweet potatoes and possums. Yeah, we ate a lot of wild meat. We ate soft shell turtle. We ate all kinds of quail and doves and birds and um fish, any wild game we could get. Yes, raccoon is very greasy. You have to cook the grease out of it. So you wanna cook it until it's h hard and crispy on the outside and all the grease should be out. Um, yeah, I'm sure I probably ate it as a kid, but I didn't know what it was. I probably thought it was chicken, right? Everything tastes like chicken. What'd they say? "What does it taste like?" "Just like chicken." "Hello." Let me see if I can say your name. Epifanio? Am I close? I'm sorry if I butchered that. It's so nice to see you. Welcome. Yeah, so wild game was a lot of our food. Hey Teresa from Stringfield Ridge. How are you doing? I know you're working, but it's nice that you popped in. I'm good. I'm enjoying this 64-degree sunshine day for a change. We're still muddy though. Oh my gosh. We're still muddy. Um, did I pronounce your name right? Is your last name Tembagan? Tembagan? Where are you from? You don't have to tell me the exact, just in the region you're in, just so we can get an idea. And if you have a particular name that you'd like to be called, then we would be happy to call you. You can be nickname, it can be your actual name, it can be any name you want. Oh, you're working from home. You're still sick. Oh, Brenda. I mean Teresa. And see, Brenda was sick last week. Mm. I've been very lucky that, but I don't really get off the farm and mingle a lot with people. The Chamber of Commerce meeting I had last night was the most crowd that I've been around, and there was like 12 of us. So that, I mean, so and we meet in a restaurant so we can spread out. We don't we don't get right on top of each other, but so I just don't have a lot of public exposure because there's still a lot of people with the flu and colds and it's going through the schools and so my animals aren't giving me anything. um oh, you still haven't heard from Holland and Lily? Oh my goodness. I hope they're doing okay because it has been a challenging winter with it winter one day and summer the next and then it's in between. Yes, I hope they're doing well. They just haven't felt like getting back on yet. There is a few channels that are taking breaks that and it's taking you a while, Teresa. but that are taking breaks, because the holidays. Christmas is so busy, and the weather hasn't helped. And I, um, y'all know there was a tornado here about 3 weeks ago. Um, there is damage. Probably there's damage. I think it's maybe a half a mile from me on my road. And I mean, it was like it looked like straight line winds where it mowed down these enormous pine trees. And I mean, it was awful. It went all the way from one side of the road, and this family on both sides, I think they're both kin to each other. So both of them had damage, and took the shingles off their house. Well, when I was going into Warrenton, is our county seat, exactly the same line on the road on the other side of us, they had the same there's trees laying everywhere. So apparently they said we had EF1. Um, so I was very lucky that the center went over me, and I didn't get the outer bands, because that's what they got, was the outer bands, that was all the trees down. They pulled up trees, how it is, they pulled them up by the roots. And of course, it hasn't helped because we've had so much rain and the ground is already soft. So I just didn't realize that there's quite a bit of damage just a mile from me, in that same area. I mean, the trees are still there on the road. They've just cut a hole so people can go through them, because they were enormous trees. Straight line winds can do more damage than the tornado. Yes. So I mean, I was in a couple of tornadoes in Oklahoma, and it's those outer bands that cause so much damage. Um, it will suck up things from the vortex up in the center, but when it starts getting, so fast and strong, I mean, everything on the outside, it just wipes it out. I mean, just wipes it out. Gummy says, out here, California, there is a bad stomach upchucking virus going around at school. Turtle was very sick last week, gastrointestinal. Yeah, you know what? That's what they're facing here too. It's a gastrointestinal. They can't blame that on COVID. That's just flu stuff. That's stuff we get every year. And yes, it goes around because some of these parents, they send their children to school and they don't even think about it. They send them to school. Well, you can deal with them, and if they throw up or run a fever, then you got to go get them anyway. But in the meantime, they've already infected everybody, and then of course they take it home to the parents, and it's like, they go to church, they give it to everybody at church. I mean, it's just like a dominoes. They give it to everybody before they really know they're sick, or they ignore the early stages of sick. So we've been lucky. We've definitely been lucky. So, um, other than that, I don't know what else other than expecting some new baby goats and new baby lambs. We got the new puppies, and Ginger and Joy are going to take their little puppies home with them soon. That is going to be exciting to see them, because for a long time I didn't know there was channels that close to me. I knew there was some channels from Georgia, but I didn't realize they were that close. They're a couple of hours from me, which is close. But they live more in the mountains, and I live more on the flatlands. But and there's some down south. There's one channel that is within 18 miles of me, and I have not met him yet, but he's very busy, and one day might might meet him. But and y'all probably know him, Ormsby Farms. So he's very close. Um, but I just didn't know there was that many channels that close. So even there's a really big channel over just in South Carolina, Roots and Refuge. She's a couple of hours away from me also. So yeah, but nobody's having a get together for the South. I can't do it, but, it would be nice if somebody would put it together because I'd definitely go, but I can't do it myself. I have too much to do with my animals and my remodeling, and yeah, I won't be able to take a break for a while. Oh, yeah, let's see, Gummy says, "Happy for both of you for your new puppies." Yes. They are going to love these puppies, I tell you. Everyone here is already they're gonna miss these little puppies. Um, 2 of them are going to school teachers that live fairly close, within a half an hour of me. So there's a chance that I will still get to see them. Um, and one is just over into South Carolina, and a couple up in North Georgia. And I have 2 that have not been spoken for, and honestly, one of them is he's got a little brown spot on his back, and he turned out to be the biggest little puppy. So if you haven't seen that video, go watch it. I have listed in the description all of their, some of them have names already because the people taking them have named them, so I do try to get them used to their little names. So go watch, and read that because they weigh anywhere from last week they were 4 to 5 pounds. This week most of them are 10 to 11 pounds. So they're like little walking fluffernutters. I mean, it's so cute to see them walking, and they'll roll over on each other and trip over each other, and they're like little clumsy things, but they are so cute to watch. What you said, Big Bear Homesteads in Georgia? I didn't know that, Brenda. Hey, Danny. Nice to see you. I enjoyed your live yesterday. Um, Gummy says, I haven't been sick, but maybe I need elderberries. Yes, I didn't have that many elderberries this year because the road department cut them all down. Oh, that was really disappointing. But I still do have some in the freezer from last year. Um, but yeah, congratulations, Danny, on your new job. I know you're excited about that. Um, new year, new job. That's exciting. Um, so that's the reason I came on a little bit early. I have a dentist appointment and I have to go into town. And when I say go into town, it's 45 minutes to an hour to the big town. you know, there are dentists here, but it's a dentist that I'm working with there, and I wanted to you know, it's a good I have to go past Fort Gordon, which is the traffic is absolutely terrible. There's a lot of military um, in that little town because of the cyber unit, and they've added at least 10,000 people. So that's the town we left when we came out here to the farm almost 6 years ago. Um, so that's I mean, it took me an hour to get out of my subdivision into to go through town. So yeah. Um, hey Joy Blessed. Nice to see you. Yes, I'm in my camper. Thank you. Uh, I don't have a lot in the camper. We basically have our computers over here, and we sleep over here because we're still working remodeling the house, so we spend a lot of time in the house. When I do my refinishing projects, I have a couple of pieces of furniture. I'll try to bring y'all along and do a video on some of that. That's what I used to do, was refinish furniture and paint, and mostly vintage furniture, repair it and paint it if it needed it, and if I could save it, I did. So my refinishing projects will be done over at the house because I can't get them in the camper. And honestly, we've never traveled so much that going up and down the stairs of the camper is so hard on our knees. Oh my gosh, so hard. Because I mean, usually you'll go for a weekend and you're done, but I go back to the camper 2 or 3 times a day sometimes. So going up and down those stairs with a bad knee is tough. So I will be happy to get back in the house, and oh my goodness, It's like if this rain would stop, we would have more time to work on it. But you can't get your saws and stuff out because my I don't have a garage, I have a carport, so the rain will blow in on our paneling and the things we're cutting. So, we can only do it on a day that it's nice and sunny and he's off work. So yeah, it's been a little bit of a struggle getting it done, but we're getting there. Soon as my bathroom is finished and that bedroom is finished and I can move the beds and stuff back in, I'm there. So yeah. Um I don't know why they held you must have put some emojis down, Brenda. I don't know why. No, you didn't. I don't know why. Um, it knocked you off today. Um, it says, "How is your cream for your working pains?" Donna says. Um, Now I can't remember the name of it. Oh, there it is. It's Topricin for anybody who has aches and pains. Um, uh, we're using it on our knees, and it does feel better. It definitely does feel better. Now, my husband has just really bad neuropathy, and he developed it after he had chemo several years ago. And just the bottoms of his feet just hurt all the time. And my brother in law has been using this, and they sent a sample of this, and oh my gosh, he won't say it's working, but he's really walking better than before, but he hasn't said I s and I'll say, "How's that cream doing?" And he'll say, "Well, I don't know yet. I haven't been taking it long enough." So, he's not just full of information about it, but if you have aches and pains, now I do put it on my arthritic knee, and just but I'm constantly going up and down the stairs, and I do quite a bit of walking on the farm. um so sometimes it is hard to tell if it's getting any better, but we've only been doing it maybe 2, not even 3 weeks yet. So we'll see, but we're trying it. So if y'all want to try it, but I think Steve got it on Amazon, but it's Topricin. I don't know how to say that. I don't know how to actually pronounce it. But that's what it is. Comes in a cream, it comes in a lotion, and he's been using it before he goes to bed because when he gets off work, he usually cannot. Once he gets off of his feet, that y'all know how it is. Once you get off your feet, then your feet start hurting or whatever the ache is. Um, Let me see, that's true. It might take a month to really help and hope the foot pain goes away. Yeah, I hope it does too. Um, is it okay? She can always post her own link. It's perfectly acceptable. Yes, yes, it's acceptable. I'm all for anybody dropping their own links, um, or anyone dropping them for them because that's how I grew, is sharing. And you never know, you have a new person, and most of us all know each other, but there is a couple new people, and it's a great way to get to know new ones. So yeah, I can't believe it, I'm over six, no, 750. I don't look very often, I really don't. But sometimes Donna will say, "Did you see you went over this amount?" And forever I was at 666, and it's like, please, it just takes some away from me, but get me off of that number. And then all of a sudden, I hadn't been looking that much, and now I'm over 750. I couldn't believe that. Now I got a long ways for the hours, but maybe I'll get them by the end of the year if I keep doing lives. But I wasn't doing them before, so you just can't get your hours if you don't do the live streams, I think, but that's just my opinion. But Gummy says yes, and you can buy it at the nutritional stores, and there are other creams, same brand for pains. Oh, as the to post to I can't say it. Hey, Verna Bradshaw, nice to see you at the grocery store. Is the prices getting any better where you live? I'm telling you, they're not getting any better here. Um, Not at all. Sometimes I think we're just gonna go on a diet of peanut butter and jelly. Well, I got honey, my bees are making honey, so I guess it'll be peanut butter and honey for me. But yeah, so, yeah, you can go to health food stores and get those, other, um Brenda says, "I've had to use my cane a lot in the last several months because of arthritis." Yeah, and I mean, the weather has a lot to do with it, with these freezing temps, and there's times where I can't even go into a grocery store into the cold section because it's just, I mean, it's terrible. But and especially when we're going to Costco, but Costco is too far away from me. That would be like a once a month trip. Um, let's see. Gummy says nope, and gas went up. Yeah, and she's in California also. Um, their gas is terrible. I think yesterday I got gas and it was 3.34 at Sprint, and I didn't get the extra 10 cents off a gallon because I haven't re-registered my card or something. um Joyce says, sorry to hear that, Brenda. Sometimes potatoes cause inflammation. Yes, uh, for arthritis, maybe you can stop eating potatoes for a while and see if that helps. I also heard that tomatoes, because they're so acidic, that they are actually not that good for you with arthritis. The Wickersham Project. Hello, how are you? Propane dropped by half here. Really? 23 gallons was $145. Now it's 84. Oh my gosh. And it's like you need to get some now to last you through the winter, right? Because next week it might be back up. They may figure out that they've done a mistake. Uh, Wickershire, where are you at? You're really up north, aren't you? Um, yeah, meat is also bad for arthritis. There's a lot of things that you wouldn't realize that are actually, you know, cause some of the issues. Tennessee, okay. We live in South Tennessee now. Okay. Um, yeah, we hadn't been to Tennessee since we went to Kentucky to Teresa's um, meetup. I hadn't been to Tennessee, or like I said, the kids have gone up to the mountains to see snow, but you know, I want to go to Texas to see family, but that's a whole week. Uh, Visiting Tennessee, heading to Gatlinburg. Oh, I love Gatlinburg. When we first came to Georgia back in the 80s, we would go to Helen, Georgia every year, and then we would go to Gatlinburg or Pigeon Forge or something like that. But Gatlinburg was our favorite. And now, the last time we were up there and the traffic was so bad, it's like, I'm done. It took the fun out of it. We would rent a little cabin on the river and we'd spend our anniversary was in October. So, it was off season for them. So we'd always get a decent price for a little cabin. But you could hear the little brooks, and it was fun. But yeah, yeah, the kids all have a blast at Pigeon Forge, and of course Dollywood, and I don't know what's up there now. We went to Gatlinburg because there's a really good pancake place there, and I can't remember the name of it, but the line would be down the road waiting to get pancakes. I mean, it was that good. So it's kind of like going to New Orleans and waiting in line for Dumont's Cafe for the donuts, you know. So it's worth the wait, definitely worth the wait. Um, First time you've seen black bears, really? We had someone a couple of months ago that said there was a black bear within 2 miles of us here, and we're pretty remote. I mean, our whole county only has 5 little teeny towns, and, you know, most of us don't even have postal service. We have a post office here in our little town, but Most of them don't, and I think there's like 4,000 people in the whole county, so that's pretty small. Pretty small. Duncan says, "My daughter and I went to Gatlinburg back in October." You did? I just love it. I mean, it's just I don't know why, but I mean, it was just back in the 80s and the 90s, it was a lot more fun. But when you get up there and it takes you forever for the traffic, there's no just hopping in the car and running down to, one of the local sites. It just doesn't happen. Um, a lot of RV and campers up in Gatlinburg. Is there really? Well, that surprised me. Um, Wickershire says we got lucky with some roadside barbecue. The commercial places were terrible. Yeah, I'm not I would rather do the little mom and pop, I don't care if the building's run down. If there's a lot of cars there, that's the place I wanna go. I wanna go to and you get great service. Those people, they really appreciate you being there and you get good service. I have never gotten terrible service up in Tennessee and Kentucky, and, they're just really friendly, really friendly. Well, I had my alarm set because I've got to be at my dentist appointment in the hour. So let's see, what'd you say? Wickershire says you can smell the roadside places from 3 miles away. Yes, they're worth it too. I mean, you're supporting the local fare and the chain stores you can get anywhere. So if you really have to eat something, you can get a chain store. I mean, there's no deal. Hey Chuck, how are you? What, I finally made it back and you have to go? Yeah, yeah, today is my dentist appointment. And it's one of those things that I gotta travel all the way to Augusta, and that's like, oh, there's my alarm. So and I'm funny. I don't like to be late to any. I would rather be 15 minutes early, and you never know because I got to go down I-20, and boy, you never know what kind of traffic you're going to get into. So yes, I am, and I did get on a few minutes early because last week I had to cut it short because the cows were all over the place, and I already did the cow thing early. They already had me chasing them, so I did that before I got on here. So yeah, they busted another piece of fence. So until we can get all that taken care of or get them to the sale barn, they're just going to keep doing it. They're just not going to be happy with my weeds. Not my side of the pasture. They're just not. Barbecue at those places are worth the price, not like you eat there daily. Yes, it is a special treat. And they give you good portions. They don't, they're not chintzy. They give you good portions. Freezer camp. Yes, Brenda. We've already working on a date for for the steer that we've been trying to feed out. So this is his year, and the other two are going to the sale barn, and the mama and the baby, she's 6 months old now, the little calf, and that little heifer's gonna, if I had somebody who was interested in her and didn't want me to lowball, she'd be gone. But she's beautiful. She's a beautiful Brangus. She's gorgeous. Great life. Miss you and chat later. Yeah, thank you. So I hope you all have a good week, and I hope you don't get too much of that cold weather that's coming down the center of the United States. I think we're going to miss most of it ourselves, but we're going to have rain. So I guess I'll see you guys next week. Thank you all for coming in. If I missed anybody, I apologize. Um, I do. So I'll see you next week. Bye, guys. Thanks for coming. Thank you. Yes, don't forget to hit that thumbs up if you didn't hit it on the way in. I appreciate that. Y'all be safe.